All right, so episode 22 of True Sports is on. Um, let's talk. Let's talk some World Series, huh?
Yeah.
The Astros had a 5-0 lead in Game One, relinquished that, lost in 10 innings, 6-5 to the Philadelphia Phillies. But
Unreal.
the but the Astros fought back and tied the World Series at a game apiece with a win. That was 5-2. They almost
Yes.
they kind of almost blew that one.
Yeah.
So Game three is Monday in Philadelphia tomorrow at 8:03 on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So still my question, despite a comeback and an almost comeback, I know how resilient the Phillies can be at times, but the Astros
Hmm.
are good too. Um,
Yeah.
my question is, will we see at least a best of three, if not a game seven?
I don't know about best of seven. Six is usually how it usually turns up. I'd be very surprised if it went to seven. I'm very surprised that Philly actually won game one after the Houston was building up such a big lead, and then all of a sudden the choke signal came on by the fifth inning. So that was a shock right there. I don't think we're gonna see seven games. I think we're gonna see maybe uh she was doing like maybe like a 4-2 series like that because I really don't see Philly winning this in the end. I will give him credit for coming this far, because nobody expected them to even get to the World Series this this year. So I'd be very surprised about that too. But I think the Astros will have enough power to overtake the Phillies in 6 games.
All right. Well, Astros in six, you say. All
Yes.
right. Well, Justin Verlander was solid in the first 3 innings, and then gave up 3 runs, and then the other two um, in
Yes.
in the fourth and fifth innings to blow that 5-0 lead. And it was only that game, at least regulation, was only halfway done too, but the
Yeah.
bullpen chipped in and made sure it was still tied, if not for that offense.
You need a
But
strong bullpen.
yeah, you need a very strong bullpen for that World Series because the competition always heats up
Oh yeah.
with with either a top dog or a team that wants it even more. So
Yes.
that's just how it goes. So we got Game three tomorrow, Game four on Tuesday, and Game five, which is necessary because the series is already tied at one. Game five on Thursday.
Wednesday.
Yep, Game three on Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. Thursday there's no baseball,
Right.
and but then if necessary, Friday and Saturday are games six and seven
Yes.
back in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Well, pretty brief, but yeah, that's been the main focus. Well,
I
Michigan.
will I will say this though that I didn't think that the Astros were going to be able to choke at home twice in a row. So they had to win at least one game on their home turf.
Yeah, their starting pitching just needed to sharpen up a bit too,
Yeah.
but their bullpen has come through constantly. Well, that's one thing for sure.
Yes.
So yeah, the, of course, after that, switching to college football, after that
Yeah.
Michigan win over Michigan State, that was a 10-on-1 beatdown after the game in
Mm.
that inside one of the tunnels. Um, 10 Spartans on one Michigan Wolverine player, and now I'm hearing that yeah, now I'm hearing 28 minutes ago from the score that the Spartan that Michigan State University has suspended 4 players: Tank Brown, Kari Crump, Angelo Angelo Gross and Zion Young banned in the wake of Michigan. Yeah, there was, yeah, defensive backs Angelo Gross and Kari Crump, defensive end Zion Young, and linebacker Atavion Brown for their role in the post-game altercation between Spartan players and Michigan Wolverine defensive back Jaden McBurrows. The school announced on Sunday. Social media posts showed multiple Michigan State student athletes roughing up McBurrows in the Michigan Stadium tunnel following the Wolverines' 29-7 victory on Saturday night. Spartans players pushed, punched, and kicked McBurrows. Yeah. Mel Tecker, the head coach of the Spartans, said, quote, in a statement, the health and safety of our student athletes. Get that stupid ad out of here.
Yeah.
The health and safety of our student athletes, coaches, personnel, and the Spartan community remain our number one priority. Unquote. And then he continued, quote, you have my promise that we are committed to fairness, transparency, and accountability, that we will continue to take appropriate action in this matter. Our core values and the responsibility that comes with wearing a state green and white jersey must never be compromised. Must never be compromised. Unquote. So yeah. Yeah. Wolverines head coach Jim Harbaugh and Ward Manuel said that was unacceptable. Right after,
Yes,
in their post-game press conference, that and one of those two men said that Ward Manuel said that rivalries can be intense, but that doesn't mean that they should be violent. They can't be.
no. Well, just because you show it with that, I know it's one of the most fiercest rivalries on college football, but I kind of look at it this way: they're enemies on the field, but it seems to be their enemies off the field as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they hate each other.
Yeah,
with a passion.
They do. Yeah, but they're not full grown adults. They take this rivalry way too seriously, like children.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that.
They still have a lot of growing up to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let me message that to my Michigan Sports Truth podcast associates, and then post it on Twitter at Michigan_Truth. You can follow my other show, the Michigan Sports Truth podcast, on Twitter and Instagram at Michigan_Truth. Like its Facebook page and subscribe to its YouTube channel with a new handle at the Michigan Sports Truth podcast. Also listen in audio form on Spreaker. Yeah, my podcast is back on Spreaker additionally.
Aha.
And then I gotta switch accounts. And then post that article. So there you go. "15 notifications." Gosh darn it. Yep. All right. So that's the article. All right. Well, all that being said, lots of ground to cover on your True Sports Report. So go ahead and take it away.
Okay, and away we go. We'll start off with the NFL. Right now, there's a game in progress as the Bills are leading the Packers 27-17 with 3:30 to go. Actually, now it's 3:14 to go. They have the ball. Allen has 13 for 24, 218 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jones, 143 rushing yards on 20 carries, and Diggs has 1 touchdown and 6 receiving yards. All the rest are final. The Broncos over the Jaguars, 21-17. That was a morning game at 9:30 here on the East Coast. Wilson had 252 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Evans Jr. had 156 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. And Dulcich, 87 receiving yards. To continue on, the Falcons over the Panthers, 37-34. Wild game at overtime. Wow. Walker, 317 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Foreman had 118 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. And Moore, that's with 2 O's, 152 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Moving right along. My brother's gonna hate this though. As the Cowboys beat up on the Bears 49-29. Aw, too bad. Prescott has solid return, 250 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Portland had 131 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns as the replacement for Zeke. And Lamb, 77 receiving yards and a touchdown. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed it. My brother, who was a Bears fan, I'm sorry. Dolphins over the Lions, 31-27. Good game nonetheless. Tagliavada, Tua, 382.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa, or just call him Tua. 382 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Morset, 64 receiving yards, and Hill, 165 receiving yards. Okay. The Cardinals over the Vikings. I'm sorry. The Vikings over the Cardinals, 34-26. Murray had 326 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Cook, 111 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. And Hopkins, 159 receiving yards and a touchdown. Good game. The Saints over the Raiders, 34-24 zip. I didn't expect that at all. Dalton, I'm surprised, had a great game. 329 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Kamara, 62 rushing yards and a touchdown. And he also had 96 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. So Dalton, the old dinosaur, still has it. Patriots over the Jets, 22-17, though I'm not surprised. Zach Wilson made a return. Impressive, with 335 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stevenson had 71 rushing yards, and Wilson had 115 receiving yards. Not bad, though. Eagles still undefeated as they beat their in-state rivals, the Steelers, 35-15. Hurts, 285 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Sanders, 76 rushing yards and a touchdown. And Brown, A.J. Brown, 156 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Titans over the Texans, 17-10. Mills, 152 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Henry, that's Derrick Henry, 219 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. And Cooks, 73 receiving yards. Close one here as the Commanders just edged the Colts 17-16. Hendricks had 279 passing yards and a touchdown. Taylor, 76 rushing yards, a touchdown. And McLaurin, 113 receiving yards. Well, the Rams apparently still have that Super Bowl hangover as the 49ers beat the Rams 31-14. Jimmy Garoppolo, that is, 235 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey, 94 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. And Ayuk, 81 receiving yards and a touchdown. Well, I guess the trade for McCaffrey worked after all. And to the condolences of my family, the Seahawks beat the Giants 27-13. Sorry. Geno Smith, 212 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley had 53 rushing yards and a touchdown. And Slayton, 66 receiving yards. Oh dear. All right, so now we'll check the standings. And tomorrow, of course, is the Battle of Ohio as the Browns take on the Bengals. The Battle of Ohio. You get the point, though. Now, whoever's going to win, that remains to be seen. Okay, so let's check the standings here. The Bills lead the AFC East at 5-1-0, pending outcome of this game. Jets fall to 5-3. The Dolphins are 5-3, and the Patriots are a respectable 4-4. In the North, the Ravens are 5-3. The Bengals are 4-3, pending outcome of tomorrow's game. And the Browns and Steelers are 2-5. To the South, the Titans are 5-2-0. Colts 3-4-1. Jaguars 2-6-0. And the Texans 1-5-1. I got news for you guys. I'm not sold on Jacksonville yet. I'm sorry. They just don't strike me as a great team yet, even though they won already 2 games. Sorry. In the South, Titans 5-2. Colts 3-4-1. I'm sorry. We're on the West now. The Chiefs 5-2. The Chargers 4-3. The Broncos 3-5. And the Raiders 2-5. All right, to the NFC. Eagles still the only unbeaten team at 7-0. Makes me sick. Thanks to the loss of the Giants, the Cowboys and the Giants are now tied at 6-2, and the hapless Washington Commanders are, well, I shouldn't say hapless, 4-4. So right now, it's hard to believe that at one time the NFC East, which was known as the NFC Least, because they were the most pathetic division in football. Now they're very decent. Go figure.
Yeah, not terrible,
All
but
right,
still mediocre.
Yeah, and there's no room for mediocrity.
Right.
As I've always said, yes. So over to the north here, the Vikings are 6-1, and all the rest are below 500. As the Packers are 3-4. Oh dear.
They're going to be 3-5.
Depending on this game, it looks like they'll be 3-5 now because they're about to lose. Yep, it's almost official, but not official just yet. But give it another 45 seconds. The Bears
54
3-5 and 3-5. And if I want to bring this up, the Lions are
please.
1-6. Sorry. Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah,
want to make.
don't be.
I didn't want to prolong the agony. Okay. In the South, well, this is kind of weird, but the Falcons. That's right. I said the Falcons are in first place with 4-4. Oh boy. The Bucks are 3-5. Brady, what has gone wrong with him this season? Well, I think we know.
The
The Saints are also
Falcons,
3-5.
man.
Yeah, Falcons. The Saints are 3-5, and the Panthers are 2-6. To the West, the Seahawks are 5-3. The 49ers are respectable 4-4. The Chargers, or some now call them the Bolts, they do, are 3-4, and the Cardinals are 3-5. Well, what can I say? But I'll get the Falcons credit though. I mean, because they've been perennial choke artists since they lost the Super Bowl. But they're making up for it now. All right, so to the ice we go. The Devils had an easy time over the Blue Jackets, 7-1. Wow. The Wild over the Blackhawks 4-3 in a shootout. The Ducks got past the Maple Leafs 4-3. Rangers now won 2 in a row as they beat the Coyotes 3-2. I was watching that game on MSG. And the Knights beat the Jets 2-1 in overtime. Different kind of Jets, people. I don't mean the New York Jets. Well, some people get that confused in this. Some people in my area do get that confused. Because some people might think, wait, do you mean the Jets play hockey now? No, you kook. Oh, boy. Yeah. Just remember one thing, that our Jets came first. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right. So we'll go to the standings in just a minute here. Just a minute here. In the meantime, there's some other news to mention here. And by the way, I did not approve of that Michigan State going into the tunnel and almost ready to, shall I say, beat each other up. Talk about unsportsmanlike conduct, people. Ugh. All right, so on to news of the day. Got some more here. Zion was back with the Pelicans after sitting out 2 games with an injury. It was a game time decision. The Pelicans face the Clippers tonight. Zion missed 2 games this week against the Mavericks and Suns this past week. So, well, it's nice to see him back in uniform. Moving right along. The Clippers keep Kawhi Leonard, though, out for a 3rd straight game as the Clippers faced the Pelicans earlier today, or tonight, I should say. The Clippers have now lost 3 straight, ruled out Leonard to what was considered right knee management. Leonard was first held out of Tuesday's game against the Thunder after he experienced stiffness in his surgically repaired right knee during the shoot-around. He flew back to LA on Wednesday to get more treatment on the knee and missed Thursday's game against the Thunder, or as I call them, the blunder. You people that know me well know by that. Leonard will sit out the 4th game of the Clippers' first 6 games after missing all of last season with a torn ACL he suffered in a playoff series loss against the Jazz in June of 2021. And if you think your Pistons are bad, well, my Nets are just as bad. They held the players
My Pistons just upset the Warriors.
That's good. But my Nets are not doing so great now, as they held a players-only meeting last night after losing to the Pacers. This was their 4th straight loss, and 1-5 on the season. That's pathetic. Head coach Steve Nash said the loss was a disaster. How else do you explain it? He's got a point there. I did not see the will or the desire or to get stops and rebounds. We need to make a bigger commitment. It also means more, and we need to have to care more because it's playing like you don't care. And that is not how you run a team, people. The Nets looked like they were the Walking Dead at times. We're playing back-to-back games, and the Nets were just outplayed. The Nets have shown a lack of consistency so far this season. It was a crappy game, said forward Kevin Durant. We're ticked off. We enjoy the game of basketball. We don't want to win though. So when we lose, it's like a somber mood in the locker room. Gee, you think? But that will change once we start playing better basketball. We still have a lot of games ahead of us yet. Yeah, but that doesn't mean wait till February. Oof. That's sarcasm, folks. The release of Spurs guard Joshua Primo, the 12th pick in last year's draft, stemmed instances that of him exposing himself to women. ESPN reported yesterday. The decision to release Primo is sudden and shocking, and spoke to the severity of issues surrounding the young star of the Spurs. The Spurs recently picked up his $4.3 million option for next season, the 2023-24 season, signifying his level of confidence in his future with the franchise. Many of the league's teams are intrigued by his talent level and potential, but are searching for a complete understanding of the situation as they weigh the possibility of placing a claim to acquire Primo before becoming a free agent tomorrow. The deadline is Tuesday. To claim Primo, a team would have to need the available cap space. I'm sorry, the NFL trade line is on Tuesday. Sorry, the team will need the available cap space of a trade player exception significant enough to absorb his $4.1 million salary this season. It would also owe him $4.3 million for his deal for 2023 and 2024. A statement made to ESPN, Primo acknowledged the need to continue his mental health treatment. Yeah, you certainly do. The Devils placed, though, Andre Palat on the injured reserve list. Palat yesterday. That means Diane's not going to be happy about that. The move is retroactive to last Monday, comes after Palat, who missed the previous 2 games, including last night, Friday's win over the Avalanche. In a news release today, Devils labeled the injury as a low body injury and will make the decision tomorrow to make a final determination of the next course of action. Palat joined the Devils this summer from the Lightning from free agency. The Lightning lost the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. Shortly after losing the Avalanche, Palat signed a 5-year, $20 million deal with the Devils. With a roster spot open now, the Devils called forward Andreas Johnson of Utica of the AHL. That's a pretty good squad, though, the AHL. So it doesn't look too bad. They are a very respectable AHL franchise, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember correctly. All right, so I continue to load up here. Here we go. Tyrese Maxey scored a career 44 points and gave the Sixers a much-needed win, even without star Joel Embiid over the Raptors. Okay, must win I think was a bit much. You get the idea, though. Embiid sat out the game with a sore knee. The 5-time All-Star and defending scoring champion is averaging 27.6 points per game and 10 rebounds. The Sixers did not really miss Joel. And not really much help from James Harden either. As Maxey, who hit 10 shots, 7 from three-point range, and also did not miss a three-point attempt until it rimmed out in the third quarter. Maxey did shot 15 for 20 overall, and with the career best 9 for 12 from the outside. Maxey also had 8 rebounds and 4 assists and 5 for 6 from the free throw line. D. Anthony Melton and Tobias Harris each scored 13 points, and Harden scored 11. The Sixers won for the second time in 6 games and split a back-to-back series with the Raptors. All right, so I got some standings for NHL hockey now. Leading in the Atlantic, the Bruins are 8-1 and are 8-1-0 and 16 points. The Panthers are 5-3-1, 11 points. The Sabres, a little bit more of an improvement at 5-3-0 and 10 points. Red Wings 4-2-2, 10 points.
Yeah.
The Lightning 5-4-0, 10 points. Montreal 10 points at
Tight.
5-4-0. Hey, I see a pattern forming here, don't you? The Leafs also 10 points, 4-4-2. I think I see a connection here. And the Senators 4-4-0 at 8 points to break the pattern. To
Still
my division,
close.
yes, though it's still early as well. Okay, to my division, the Metro, the Devils are 6-3-0, 12 points. The Rangers are now 6-3-2, 12 points. I don't know if that's I don't know if it's no, I think it is 5-3-2. I think it's updated now. They also have 12 points and won 2 straight.
Yeah, all you gotta do is refresh the thing.
Okay. The Criers, or as they call them, the Flyers, 5-2-1, 11 points. The Hurricanes are 11 points at 5-2-1. The Islanders, yuck, 5-4-0, 10 points. The Capitals, 5-4-0, also 10 points. The Penguins, 4-4-1, 9 points. And the Blue Jackets, 3-7-0, and 6 points. All right, to the West. The Stars are 5-3-1, 11 points. The Jets, 5-3-1, also 11 points. The Blackhawks, 4-3-2, 10 points. Avalanche, 4-4-1, 9 points. The same as the Minnesota Wild, same record, 4-4-1, 9 points. The Predators, or as I said, the Yahoos, 3-5-1, 7 points. The Blues, 3-4-0, 6 points. And the Coyotes, 2-5-1, 5 points. Here we go again. To the Pacific, Golden Knights, 8-2-0, 16 points. The Oilers, 6-3-0, 12 points. The Flames, 5-2-0, 10 points. Kraken, 4-4-2, 10 points. Another pattern here. The Kings, 5-5-0, 10 points. Canucks, 2-5-2, 6 points. Sharks, 3-8-0, 6 points. And the Ducks, 2-6-1, and 5 points. Dear. I don't know what to tell you about that. I mean, it's pretty bad. But like we said, it's also early in the season, so don't panic, folks. All right, so NBA, we got one game to go here with the Lakers leading the Nuggets 108-9, 6:17 to go. Jokic has 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. AD, Anthony Davis, 13 rebounds, 21 points, and 2 assists. All the rest are final. The Clippers over the Pelicans. The Pelicans over the Clippers, 112-91. That's Zach Williamson, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Powell, 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. The Celtics over the Warriors, 112-94. This is a typo, or this, or I think it's Kristaps Porzingis. Yep. 17 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Hey, come back to the Knicks, okay? Maybe you can do us a favor. Nah, you'll probably get injured again anyway. Jaylen Brown, 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. Cavaliers, speaking of the Knicks, they beat them. The Cavaliers beat the Knicks 121-108. Brewson, 16 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And it was a Donovan Mitchell show with 38 points, 12 assists, and 3 rebounds. He's a good player, I'll give you that. Pistons over the Warriors, 128-114. Seth Curry, 32 points.
Stephen Curry.
Oh, it is Stephon. I thought it was little brother. 32 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Cade Cunningham, 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Spurs over the Wolves, 107-98. Towns, or as I call it, Cat, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. And Johnson had 25 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns still has it. Mavericks over the Tragic, 114-105. I know, it's the Magic. Boyle, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Luka Doncic, 44 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. Oh, boy, oh, boy. And the Suns ground the Rockets, 124-109. Porter, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Booker, 30 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. And I'll take care of that. All right, so look at the standings for the upcoming week. I think it's a big one tomorrow. I think Tuesday and Thursdays are the light days in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. And again, TNT has the game on those nights. So it's due here. So all I can say is, though, I'm not too thrilled with how it's been going so far for the Nets right now. It has just been humiliating right now. I mean, they're supposed to be in contention, to try to, get to a postseason. Right now, I wouldn't bet on it. If I were a betting man in the NBA right now, I wouldn't go that far. To be perfectly honest with you. So let's go to the standings in the NBA. Do I dare? But right now it doesn't seem to be too bad though right now. As we're still closing, it's still only the third week of the season. Third week of the season. That's not too bad. Okay, so the standings go this way. Okay. All right, standings will go like this. And actually, the next game was close with the Cleveland until late in the fourth quarter, and then after that, they just fell apart. So that was another problem right there. Just not, they just didn't seem to have it. They just lose in the fourth. They seem to blow. The problem is they blow in late quarters, late in the game, and that's their biggest problem. I really thought they were going to work on that. But apparently they don't know what to do. So the standings for the NBA go like this. The Bucks are in first at 5-0, undefeated. Cavaliers are 5-1, a half game back. The Celtics 4-2, a game and a half back, along with the Atlanta Hawks, a game and a half back. Knicks are 3-3 at 2.5 back, so it's not too bad. Along with the Raptors at 3-3, 2.5 back. Also with the Raptors and the Wizards and the Hornets, all 3-3 at 2.5 back. Okay, not bad. Bringing up the rear, the Sixers at 3-4, 3 back. The Bulls 3-4 at 3 back. The Pacers 3-4 and 3 back. The Heat 2-5, 4 back. Pistons 4 back and 2-5. The Nets 1-5, 4.5 back, and the Magic 1-6 at 5 back. Oh well. To the West, the Blazers 5-1, tied with the Phoenix Suns, who are trying to make a run from that disastrous postseason last year. The Spurs are 5-2, a half game back. The Jazz are a half game back at 5-2. 1 game back are the Nuggets, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, and the Wolves, all at 4-2. I'm sorry, the Wolves are a game and a half back at 4-3. Not bad though. Thunder 2 back at 3-3. The Mavericks are 3-3 and 2 back. 2.5 back are the Warriors, 3-4. Clippers are 2-4 at 3 back. 3.5 back are the Kings at 1-4. The Rockets are 1-6 at 4-5. And oh boy, the Lakers have yet to win a game at 0-5, 4.5 back. Now, I don't know about you, but that is just pathetic. How do you expect to contend for a championship if you can't win a game? Ugh. Simple. You can't. It's just pathetic. All right, so tomorrow's games. The Kings will take on the Hornets at 7, also at 7 o'clock. The Sixers will take on the Wizards, 7:30. Pacers take on the Nets. The Hawks take on the Raptors, also at 7:30. The Pistons take on the Bucks at 8. Grizzlies take on the Jazz at 9. And the Rockets take on the Clippers at 10:30. And remember, all games are Eastern Time. So keep that in mind. All right, so on to more news over here. As we take care of that. All right, so move on further down the line here. And the Nets owner, Joe Tazzi, sent a statement that they were condemning guard Kyrie Irving's anti-Semitic film and book based on his social media accounts. Now, that is causing a lot of controversy with the team so far, and there is just no room for it. Tazzi said, He was disappointed that Kyrie appears to support a film based on a book of anti-Semitic disinformation. I want to sit down with him and make sure he understands that this is harmful to all of us, and as a man of faith, it is wrong to promote hate on race or religion or any other sort. As Rolling Stone magazine reported in an article recently, Irving promoted a controversial movie and said the magazine reported is loaded with anti-Semitic statements. Well, I don't go for that myself. Irving posted a tweet on Thursday that linked onto the film's Amazon page. The movie is based on a 2015 book of the same name. The Nets have strongly condemned the movie and the book, saying there is no tolerance in any form of hate speech. The Nets said in a statement, and I can agree with that. On your side, Michael Rasmussen was suspended 2 games without pay by the league on Friday after a high sticking call on Bruins for David Krejci the previous night. He was assessed with a minor penalty for high sticking, and the Red Wings lost to the Bruins that night as well. And the suspension will cost him just under $15,800. If you want exact numbers, okay, $15,784.
2 games.
Not a very smart move.
Yeah, not a very smart move. I think the punishment is fair. Just 2 games.
Yeah.
And
you don't think that's too lenient?
No, it's only 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that was too lenient, or you think it was just about right? I thought maybe there was just
Krejci got injured. Krejci got injured. Think about it.
That's true too. Mm-hmm. I would have said more though.
Yeah, because you can't injure somebody like that.
No.
That's why Rasmussen got suspended.
Yeah. Boys will be boys, though. Yeah. Yep. One of the NFL's greatest players is receiving flowers in a major way. An 8-foot statue of Lions great Barry Sanders will be unveiled outside the Ford Field in the 2023 season. He is the first player in franchise history to be immortalized outside the stadium. How about that? Yeah. Now, amazing though, he only played like about 9 years. I would, with the way he's done, it should have been more. Once upon a time when the Lions were actually good. It won't be till next year, but it still is an honor. And he says that he felt humble that he was able to play for such a great team with the Lions back in the day. Yeah. Of course, I'm old enough to remember that. So congratulations on that. Sanders still holds rushing records for the team. He was awarded MVP in 1997, made All-Pro 6 times. With the Lions from his career from 1989 to 1998. Adding his fourth all-time in receiving yards with 15,269 receiving yards. Quite an accomplishment. Got a bit of history today. Thanks to the Patriots winning against my Jets, Coach Bill Belichick is now tied for second among wins among NFL coaches. Actually, Belichick has now tied George Halas with 324 career wins. Just sickening. Oh, actually, no, he has 325 wins and postseason wins. And now moves surpassed Halas, who coached the Chicago Bears for 40 years. He still has a way to go, though, to beat the all-time record, as that's done by former Dolphins coach Don Shula, who has 347 wins. And, of course, Shula is coached the true undefeated team in the NFL, the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Like I said, the only true undefeated team. I think you guys know what I mean by that. All right. The Phillies are going to go with Noah Syndergaard as the series ships to Philadelphia for the next 3 games, because now it will be 3 games. And the Astros will counter with Lance McCullers Jr., with the series now tied 1 game apiece. That's going to be McCullers missed the World Series last time around, as he was with a forearm injury in the first round of the playoffs, making tomorrow his first World Series start in 5 years. McCullers went 4-2 with 2.27 ERA in 8 starts after recovering from the injury. Syndergaard is 10-10 with a 3.97 ERA. He split this season with the Angels and the Phillies. He was acquired by the Phillies after the trade deadline and made 9 starts. But 10-10, not a very good record, though, if you ask me. And the Rams are not planning to part ways with Cam Akers if they aren't able to find a trade. The running back is now in his 3rd season with the Rams. The Rams would find a trade partner for Akers in a perfect world, according to sources, but they also recognize he can still help the Rams this season. Believe me, they need it. Therefore, if Akers is not traded before Tuesday's deadline, he is expected to return and play for the Rams this season. Akers has been away from the Rams for the past 2 weeks as they are exploring trade possibilities. He had missed his 2nd straight game as they faced the 49ers earlier, as the Rams listed Akers out for quote-unquote personal reasons. Oh, gee, I wonder what they are. Rams coach Sean McVay says that Akers returning is not out of the question, but acknowledged at the time the best option was to trade him. Akers has rushed for 151 yards and a touchdown on 51 carries this season. You know, I say keep him. After scoring a touchdown week 3 against the Cardinals, Akers said he felt motivated because everyone else thought I lost a step or two, when in reality, I did not. keep him. He's not doing terrible. I just say keep the guy. Could do a lot worse. Yeah. Who'd have thought that Dalton would still be, decent? Because, like I said, Dalton is a dinosaur. The way I look at it. All right, so Embiid is still going there. Okay. Embiid. Okay. Blackhawks forward Tyler Johnson has been placed on injured reserve with an ankle injury. Johnson was off to a great start with 2 goals and 4 assists in 6 games. The Blackhawks were out to a hot start with a 4-game winning streak. Hey, we might have some here. Johnson collided with Alexander Barkov in the third period on Tuesday, falling awkwardly feet first into the boards. And when that happens, okay, you're in trouble now. He was helped off the ice and was seen wearing a walking boot. Johnson was snake bitten when the Blackhawks, since he was acquired from the Lightning in July of last year. He played only in 26 games last season after undergoing spinal disc replacement surgery in his neck. Oh yeah, that was a painful injury. And the Bruins also welcome back Brad Machard, who scored 2 goals in Thursday night's victory over the Red Wings. He returned to the Bruins after going arthroscopic surgery back last May to repair cartilage in his hips. He would expect to be off the ice for the entire season. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Instead, he was planned to return the following Wednesday, the morning skate. He is an amazing player, said Coach Jim Montgomery. Amazing how he comes up with the puck. The puck is between 3 bodies. He's like the Tasmanian devil. I thought I was. And twirling it all around. Yeah, I get that. The Bruins were in the middle of a back-to-back as they had faced the Blue Jackets at that point. And Machard was back to his usual spot on the first line with Jake Dubersk and Patrice Bergeron, and felt more comfortable as the game progressed. Of course, the Bruins are cautious of his progression, as they should be. But we still all wish him, well. On a lighter note here, ESPN and MSG play-by-play man Mike Breen received the Vin Scully Award for Excellence in Sports Broadcasting. Breen, now in his 30th year of calling Knicks games, as the lead voice of ABC and ESPN, including the finals, will receive an honor from WFUV next Tuesday. That is a Fordham radio station, by the way, here in the New York area. Breen graduated from Fordham back in 1983. I didn't think he was that old. Scully began his career in 1949. He passed away earlier this year. He spent 67 years calling Dodger games, even since the late 50s, and that's even before they headed to the West Coast. Michael Kay, the Yankee broadcaster on Yes, is the only other former graduate to receive the award, and he actually called some games during the playoffs this season. So Kay went national. I'll be damned. And Blazers guard Damian Lillard, or as I call him Lizard sometimes, has a grade 1 calf strain and will be evaluated again in about, let's say, 7 to 10 days from now. The MRI confirmed the injury. Lillard was injured in the last 5 minutes of the third and headed to the locker room and did not return. He sat out games against the Rockets, and they're going on a break before they face the Grizzlies on Wednesday. So they have a nice long break for him to recover. But I can't say the same for Wizards guard Delon Wright, who will miss 6 to 8 weeks with a grade 2 right hamstring. Oh boy. He suffered in the fourth quarter in Tuesday's victory against your Pistons. Wow. Scored 5 points in 16 minutes of action. Oh boy. The Wizards say that Wright would be evaluated again 3 weeks, but as it looks right now, Wright will be missing about 8 weeks. He's now his 8th season. He made an impact in the Wizards' 3-1 start to the season. He's averaging 23 minutes per game, 6.5 points, 3.2 assists, and 2.5 rebounds. And a partridge in a pear tree to go with it. No. Okay. You all get the point, though. All right, so that's going to wrap it for me, so I'll just turn it back over to you.
All right. This concludes True Sports episode 22. I'm Taylor, he's Lewis. Again, follow my other show, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, on Twitter and Instagram at Michigan_Truth. Like its Facebook page and subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Also listen in audio form on Spreaker. True Sports is a presentation and production of Phillips Media. Ta-ta, hit 'em with a hind.
Good night.